Good morning, good afternoon, good night. It's actually afternoon, evening, and probably early morning, depending on where you are tuned in from. It's our afternoon stream here at BitLab Academy, doing TA. We do a bit of a hybrid show in the morning where we talk about the context of what's going on in the broader markets, in the news sort of media, the headlines of the day, the context, trying to figure that out, as well as weighing where the risk narrative is based on traditional assets, as well as Bitcoin and crypto prices and all that TA. But the afternoon show, this is where we get down to the nitty gritty. We break down what's going on in the charts. So welcome to the afternoon stream. If you have not yet, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. We only need about 25, 30 or so people to subscribe. And there's about 55% of you that watch on a daily basis, watching on a regular basis, that are not subscribed. So if you guys all subscribe right now, everybody that's watching this show, we'll break that 9,000 mark. And if we hit that 9,000 mark before the end of the stream, I will be giving away 3 free 3-month memberships to the new BitLab Trading Stack. So get involved. How you doing, everybody? My name's Kellam. Welcome to the show. This is where you can get all of my info. I can never remember which hand it is. I'm the director of BitLab Academy here, and this is not just a YouTube channel, just so you know. We've got a whole online course academy here at bitlabacademy.com. And I just want to let you know, I'll say it at the end of the stream as well. We've got a huge sale going on right now that you can use Give Me 30 for 30% off. And it's not just for the trading stack, which is our indicator set. It's also for the courses. It's for any of the memberships. You can come in here and you can choose if you want to sign up for the BitLab Pro, which is the premium Discord, all access to courses, as well as the BitLab Trading Stack. And this is already discounted about 30% because rather than being 130 something a month, it's 97. So you're saving that money getting it as a bundle, but you can also use the Give Me 30 for additional 30% off your first month. If you're already a member of the all access, just so you know, if you're already a member of this, when you upgrade to this, you'll get 50% off your first month, just so you know. And if you do want to sign up for just the all access here for just the courses and the premium Discord, you can also use Give Me 30. Again, that's Give Me 30. You put it in when you're putting in your billing information after you put in your email. So let's go ahead, dive into it today. What are we talking about? Again, if we get to that 9,000 mark, we're right here at 8,960. If we hit that 9,000 mark today on the show, I'm going to be drawing from the BitLab Academy, these 2 posts today, this one here. If you hit that subscribe, the following, hit the like button, hit that retweet, and you can also come to this morning's if you were on this morning's, if you retweet. I'm going to draw between these 2 to see who's going to get those three different people winning three free 3-month memberships. It's a lot of 3 free 3-month memberships. That sounds like a riddle, but you get it. Let's jump into it. What are we talking about today? I just wanted to just highlight something fairly quickly here. Just taking a look where we're at right here. Short-term holder cost basis. Definition of the strength of the trend. If we're above it, trend is strong because the short-term holders are in profits. They're holding above the average cost that they got in at. When you get these red bars, that's when the tradable price on exchange is below the average price that short-term holders bought at. Short-term holders are volatile holders. So if price breaks below this, we tend to see price reject on it when it comes back up to it. Why? Because there's a lot of short-term holders that are holding underwater and they're jumping at the opportunity to get out each time. That's why once the price falls below this dotted line here, that's why it tends to be a fairly bearish and enduringly bearish bear market. Once we break above it, tends to be a pretty strong bull market. And where we're at right now, we're getting a little deviation below. The question is going to be, based on where we're at in the cycle, where we're at compared to the halving. We see the halvings coming up here. Is there going to be a little bit different strength this time in terms of short-term holders? If the price does come back up to that level, will short-term holders sell at that price, or will the price break back through and find support above it again? Brain just had a little bit of a fart there. So here we are. We're going to get going. We got 74 people in the room. Everybody in the room, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell, join us in this community, and let's get this going. We're going to be talking about TA all day today, Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, all of it. We'll go through the rest of that list that I got from the mods from this morning. We'll make sure to cover all those coins, and then we will also be breaking down other stuff with any extra time that we have. Let me just pull up that list. Where's it at? There you go. Okay. So where are we at? Bitcoin, let's go on the 24-hour chart. Squeeze up. It was down over the last week. It's having a little bit of a push today, but look at this chart we can see on the right. Really, it's just kind of sitting right at equilibrium. If you look at this deviation down, you see the deviation above, the deviation back down. Price is basically right on that median level. So really no movement there in reality. Optimism up about 1%. Compound up about 1%. Okay, if we scroll down or flip this, I should say. Frax shares, I still don't know what that is, but I see it on there pretty often. Down 6%, down 12% for the week. Kava down 5%. XDC down 4.6%. Stellar down 4.5%. Thorchain down 4.4%. Hedera down 4%. There's a little bit of, shake up going on in the market, but I think everybody's kind of trying to prepare, trying to front run what may be going on with Bitcoin. So what the hell is going on with Bitcoin? Well, let's dive in here. I'm not always going to do this because there's some charts that I'm going to be sharing that's only available for those people that are in the BitLab Discord, especially the premium Discord, which you get access to if you're an all access member or a BitLab Pro member. Also the BitLab Trading Stack, you get a limited access to the indicators area, but this is with the BitLab Trading Stack. I just want to point out what I'm seeing here. This is a 1 hour chart. And as we can see here, we have the price broke the trend signal line. So this line right here, it goes from green to red, depending on what trend we're in. In this case, it's flipped back red and the price is broken below this. It's come back up. It's trying to test this level on the 1 hour. It looks like it may get rejected. If it does, what do we do? Well, first off, before we look to the next level down, let's look at this other indication that we're seeing with this data set here. The price also rejected at the weekly VWAP, which is this line right here. It's the weekly volume weighted average price. We see we lost it here, kind of rejected here, had an attempt here, and have lost that zone. In addition to that, it also rejected at the volume POC. What's the POC? Point of control. What's the point of control? If you look at the price action on the chart, this is the visible, this is a volume profile of the visible range. So it's how much, you could see comparatively what levels of price, if you look over directly to the right where this would associate to, at this level, there's more volume traded at this level than price at this level, for instance. You see how this trickles down and gets much smaller. The POC is the highest amount of volume traded on the visible chart that you're looking at. So we got rejected off the point of control as well as the VWAP. We're losing this level. And then so what do we look to? What's the safety net below us? So what's a signal in case things may be breaking down further? In this case, price currently in support order block right here. We have an order block right here that's currently acting as support, and it already has once, has twice, has 3 times a lady. So we could see this right here, finding support, but coming up and getting rejected at the trend signal line and all the data that's right here is getting rejected. If this does start to break down, first off, look at where we're at right here. Where the wicks, these wicks are below this low right here where these candle bodies are, but look at where these candle bodies are. The candles are fighting to stay with this being essentially the low of the candle bodies. So there's attempts to be made, but the bullish attempt to the upside doesn't look like it's really following through. In this case, on the hour chart, we still have 36 minutes left, so we still have some time to really see what's going to happen. But if this does push down a little bit further, we have the bottom side of this order block, aka high liquidity zones of where clusters of large orders have been put in the books. We have an order block directly above us. We have this order block directly below us, and it's currently acting as support. So if price does start falling through this, the line in the sand is this 25,609, which is the bottom side of this order block, and it's also the bottom side of this wick. So this is the low of this move. Essentially, if we lose this low of this move, or another way to look at it, if we break through this order block, I do see price actually possibly, very likely, going quite a bit lower. And by quite a bit, what we'd be talking about right here is coming over here. If we take this measurement, we can be a little conservative. We can go from there, or we can go all the way from the full move. Either way, we can go like this, set this move. That would be the one option T. Let's go a little more conservative just to show you. Those are the two sort of options about where the price could go, both regionally in the area of this line. If you can't remember what a line is, let's come out to the 12-hour. Let's zoom out just a little bit, and we can see that this is a pretty important line. This is the November lows, the ultimate lows of where we were here, 15,450 or so. Okay. And then it touches again at this point right here. So if you don't want to draw a line out, what you can do, you can delete that, come up here on the top left, go to array, select at this point, and then move your mouse over like this. And you can just move the mouse until it touches that first. There we go. So now this automatically projects itself out inevitably or indefinitely into the future. We can see, oops, we can see, let's go ahead and, yeah. We can see that the targets of this move, from this move, the consolidation, the flagpole projects regionally right about here. This would be 23,300. Now, this is just looking at diagonal levels of support, but we're also utilizing the targets below. But in addition to that sort of basic TA of a diagonal level, a target from the pattern breakdown, we're also forecasting it based on what we see on the technical indicators. And we're coming back over here to the 1 hour. We can see all the things that we pointed at. Now, I do want to point out earlier when I posted this, I said caution for the bulls, dashboard shows bearish bias. What's interesting about this, I posted this chart in the BitLab Discord, in the BitLab indicators area, chart analysis. That's where you'll find it. This was all mostly red, and now this is flipping. It looks like there's an attempt that may happen. And the question is always going to be, when you're trying to identify if we're going to pump or dump, is when you see a breakdown, if we zoom in on this, if you see a breakdown in price happening, and you see these indicators as the price bounces, excuse me, as the price bounces here, and you see an attempt starting to be made to the upside, the bulls started eating up this candle right here, candle closed here, this next candle opened on the bottom side of this bullish candle. Now, we see the VWAP angled around, but we still see the momentum. What do I mean by that? We see this momentum still sharply angled to the downside. And we see a lot of selling volume on the preceding candle. We see we also have a trend line here on the RSI. We see rejection, a little bit of a deviation above, but then rejection again. The VWAP is trying to make a swing, but again, looking at this, the bullish attempt barely cleared the lows of this level and could not achieve anywhere near the high of the previous candle. This is telling me that the bullish attempt is weak, and this is going to give more incentive to the bears that are out there and bring more bulls on board for bearish strategy, bearish setup. Because here it's like maybe there's going to be a bounce. Look at this. This candle closed below this trend signal line right here. This is saying weakness. So let's go down to a little bit smaller time frame. Let's go to the 15-minute. So look at this. Stochastic's getting pretty high here. Stochastic's getting pretty high. This is about 64 almost. I can look at it to right here. So this is a 0 line. This is a 100% line. When you think about when you're looking at stochastics and RSIs, when you have the 0 to 100, you have below 30 or above 70 or overbought or oversold, right? And we can see this is up here pushing up on 60, and it looks like it's starting to get a little bit weak. The VWAP starting to round out. The RSI has already been rejected. The strength is coming down, and we can see the full dashboard here on the right. Bullish, bullish, neutral, neutral, bearish, bearish. So this is essentially perfectly neutral. And if something's perfectly neutral, when we're looking at a downtrend in price, then the neutral bias will be bearish because that's the direction of the trend. If anything's ever neutral or very weakly bullish in the trend of the time frame you're looking on. Remember, you have to consider the time frame you're looking on. If you're looking at the 15-minute, you may be looking at a different trend than the macro trend. You may be in a small time frame bearish trend while the macro is in an ultra bullish trend. So you need to be aware of the time frame you're looking at. In this case, on the 15-minute, this, broke down, had a consolidation sideways, but as it stands right now, if we just look from here, What does this show you right here? What does this say right here? This is arcing to the downside. This is showing increase in momentum moving down. We had a bearish signal right here. We had a bearish signal right here. Why are they bearish? Well, put your mouse over it. See? Bearish signal. Has to do with some underlying metrics we put in this that signals when certain technical analysis things happen with the candle structure, moving averages, and etc. Now, in addition to this, I do just want to point out on the trading stack, we see these high volume bullish candles are teal, high volume bearish candles are purple. What we always want to look for, and you can have multiple of these in a row, but if you see a teal candle and then a yellow candle, the yellow candle is, okay, we had high volume and this is stopping volume. In addition to the stopping volume, we also got a signal within the price action of the chart that we can see a bearish signal is formed. So not only do we get a stopping volume saying this will likely not continue in reverse, we also got a bearish signal here. We can also see down here, the RSI started moving down into that zone. The VWAP's already angled down. So while the momentum's going up, we have a bearish signal, stopping volume, and the strength indicators are moving down. So in this case, I would have ignored this momentum wave because I have 1, 2, 3, 4 different signals saying that this is likely rolling over. Similarly, right here, we had a bearish signal, teal candle up into a yellow stopping volume, aka caution, caution, this is probably not going to continue. On the same candle, we get a bearish signal. This is not always going to be tied to a yellow candle. They just happen to be on here. So this is nice to see. Bearish signal and stopping volume. Look at this. Before we get into this, the RSI is already rolling over down. The VWAP's already peaking and rolling over down slightly. Now coming over to where we're at right here. Order block. This is on the 15-minute chart. Order block on the BitLab volume, part of the BitLab trading stack. We have an order block propagate right here onto the chart. It projects out. Price pulls down, finds some support here, moves up and gets rejected right at this order block. It gives you an idea of an area of interest for a potential reversal. Liquidity, there might be some tap of liquidity in terms of the price action getting like magnetically like sucked back towards the zone. This is what happens. It gets rejected and comes down. So here we are. We got another purple candle followed by a yellow candle. See, they don't always follow yellow. We had strong selling and then volume, strong buying volume. But rejected at the weekly VWAP. I love this weekly VWAP. By the way, anybody that has a BitLab trading stack, if you come in here to BitLab Intelligence, hit this gear wheel, you can scroll down and you can turn on if you want your strong or shift or reversal, all these different things that we can see on the chart. See, like this is a shift. You can turn these things on and off if you want a very clean chart and just having the bullish and bearish signals or whatever you want on here. This would come off after I press OK. But this is how you do it. And then additionally, if you want that weekly VWAP, this line right here that gives you a good idea of where price is moving and oscillating back and forth across is a great signal. It's not going to be on by default. Come into your settings on the BitLab Intelligence, scroll down like this, and you can see right here, VWAP settings. You can turn on the weekly or turn it off. You can turn on the daily, you can turn on a monthly. I like the weekly, so we'll leave that on, and that's what this is right here. Look at this, price breaks down through it, comes back up, tests it, gets rejected down. Institutions are very bearish when the price, they play these swings and the deviations away from the VWAP and towards the VWAP. So down here, strong buying volume coming back into the VWAP, setting up for more shorts. We know that because at this point, this gets rejected on this candle. So on this candle right here, as the price starts moving away, this is institution saying, no, all we're trying to do is get as high a price as possible, but we're still very bearish. And they sell right here. Look at where this is also right in the middle of this order block right here that is suggesting weakness at this level. Liquidity is likely trying to tap this. This is what happens, gets rejected below the VWAP and comes straight down. Now we got the reversal here, very small time frame reversal with the yellow stopping volume candle right here. Price moves up. And if we look at this with the fib, I would assume that that comes right into the golden pocket. it kind of whips up above this with this really quick wick, but it's basically the price action is pinned right here in this golden pocket, and now it's coming down. The question is going to be on this, is this going to follow through to the downside or continue to the upside? Well, it does look like the stochastics, it does look like, by the way, on the trend fuel on the bottom here, if you go to the settings on the right over here, you can make it very, very basic. If you don't want all the lines, come here to style. You could turn off the stochastic RSI and VWAP, and you will just turn it off, boom. And then you get just the signals like this. If you want to get a little more in depth, you can turn on the RSI or the RSI and the VWAP or stochastics. This is how you can choose your level of how in depth you want the data to be. Now, where we're at right now, this is looking, there's two things I'm seeing here. We've got what feels a little bit like a downward facing broadening wedge, which this could go for quite some time. I'm watching in all of this, I'm watching most specifically this order block that's right below us. Because currently we're bouncing at the top side of this order block. If we start testing down to the mid 25, 25.6, 25.7, then I'm going to start really paying attention to any sort of weakness in any bullish attempts at this level. Because if this level is lost, I do think we're going to be tapping down probably into the mid 24s. So we need to pay attention to that. Let's go ahead and, let's delete this. And so this is what I'm seeing on, Bitcoin right now. It's still holding this level. This, you know, my preferred thing to happen for Bitcoin right now actually would be a little bit of a short squeeze that sets up this inverted Bart Simpson pattern, which would be, let's go ahead and delete this as well. Delete this, and delete this. Okay. And that would look like, I talked about it on this morning show. Let's go back to the 4 hour. That would look like, you see how this moves up quickly, consolidates sideways and drops quickly. If we see another version of this where we have consolidation sideways and then this moves up quickly, that's going to be if we start seeing a lot of open interest for shorts really climbing. That's when that setup will happen for that. Now, as it stands right now, this is still just essentially a very kind of ugly but readable bear flag. Now, as it stands right now, this is sitting above the 50 moving average, the trend signal line right here. If this can hold this level and trade sideways, then we can reevaluate it. As it stands right now, this is starting to look weaker as it's riding on this level, and we're seeing this momentum, this trend wave starting to roll over, and the VWAP's angled to the downside. This is not looking super healthy. This is on the 4 hour chart. If we can just hold this level and start working our way up, the first level I'm going to be watching for resistance is going to be right here on the low 27s, like 27.1, 27 to 27.200, this sort of zone right here, because we have this large order block that's directly above us. So that's what I'm seeing for Bitcoin. Let's do some TA on a bunch of other stuff now. Now, how's everybody doing? We got 166 people in the room, only 73 likes. Everybody in the room needs to hit the like button right now. Everybody in the room needs to hit that subscribe button. We need to get us over 9,000. We're almost there. Let's see where we're at. We just hit 201 videos too. Okay, we only need 30 more. I know we got 30 in here that are not subscribed, so hit that subscribe button, get involved. By the way, these indicators, we have a huge deal going on for them right now. BitLabAcademy.com. You just come right up here, go to indicators, and get for the trading stack, and you can use Give Me 30 for 30% off, additional 30% off this. Or, as I said, you can go over here to the BitLab Pro, which gives you access to all the courses where we break down everything about the crypto market and trading and candle patterns and on-chain analysis and trading strategies. You get access to all that as the premium Discord as well as a trading stack. And that's already about 30% off with everything bundled together, but you can get additional 30% off if you use that Give Me 30 code. So get on it. The code's not going to last long. We're going to go to about September 1st with that. So let's talk about TA on the altcoins. Altcoins. Okay, let me see what coins I did not do this morning. I did most of these coins. We'll just go down the list. We got a lot we can do in 20 minutes. We're going to be doing some turbo TA. So let's see if we're doing TA on a coin you got. Let us know at what price you got it at, or at what price you got out from under it on if you did sell it and take profits. Let's see who's got what. You don't have to tell us the totals. I don't want to, we don't need to know what you made or lost, but you say, this is the price point I got in. Ethereum, we got to look at Ethereum. It's riding the line. Look at that. Talked about this morning. I was looking at this level saying, I think this is going to test this zone. It has tested that zone. Not only has it tested that zone, look at that. Wick down where? Right to the low of the previous range. You see this? Right to the low of the previous range. So where to from here? Well, the only way we can figure that out is looking left on the chart. Not only did it go to the low of this previous range, it's also the point of control. This was the initial fall, the retracement up, and we're sitting right here. So are we going to see price action revisit this level, which we can see there's a lot of price interactivity that's happened at this level. This is 1550, 1560 sort of region for Ethereum, which here, a lot of price interactivity. Look, a lot of bounces right here as well. So this is a very strong possibility. If this does lose this level more, I don't want to say convincingly, but for instance, if this candle closes below this level, I do think that this is going to work its way down. And we have 20 minutes for that to close. I do think that that's going to work its way down. Okay. So right here, BitLab Trading Stack, we got the triangle, but we're getting a lot of this selling volume candles. We see all the red down here on this wave. This is saying the momentum to the downside is not only moving down, but there's a larger amount than normal of selling pressure in this wave. And then immediately we get this triangle, but it's not really out of the woods yet. We do see the stochastics reset. We do see the VWAP kind of reverse just before this. We see the money flow, this purple wave is still coming out. So there's not water for the grass to grow. So looking at this is exactly where it happened right here. We don't have any signals on the price action from the BitLab intelligence, whether it's a bunch of bullish divergences or a bullish setup or a shift or a revert, nothing. So I would have been very skeptical of this, especially after this fall. I would want to be a little patient to see what's happening here. Now we're sitting right here in this region. If we do close this candle below this, you're gonna have to watch this like a hawk if you're still expecting this to go up. This is looking more and more likely to break down. We're also seeing increase in selling volume here. See this weak volume in the consolidation? Increase in selling volume. What does this look like on the 30-minute? Let's take a look. Okay, we had selling volume. We lost the weekly VWAP. We lost the trend signal line. All these things combined are showing weakness. We can't even get up to this trend signal line. It's getting rejected at the 20 moving average here in this EMA band on the BitLab intelligence. RSI is starting to roll over. We see this. RSI is starting to roll over. Stochastics getting pretty hot. But this is relatively neutral. This is looking like it's trying to round, but it's not giving me strong signal. You see, even on the 15, getting rejected at the trend signal lines. This is looking like it wants to attempt lower. So I'd still be looking for a little bit more downside on Ethereum, barring any sort of super positive news. So scroll down. Let's, we looked at ADA this morning. We can look at this again. Order blocks directly above us. Let's go to the 4-hour. Let's go to this chart right here. Okay, here we go. So we had this descending triangle, descending wedge, I should say, with this line median way through it. And that just is from a previous price point. So lost the level, came up, rejected, came back down, came up. Look at this, rejected at the weekly VWAP. I'm telling you, this signal is solid. It's coming down. We got a little bit of a almost head and shoulders, but not quite. But still a weak signal here. Lost this level. Now we're dancing with double bottoming on this level right here. This tapped down into the order block directly below it. We're looking at the 4-hour of Cardano here. If this does, this candle body currently is below these candle bodies. This is telling me, look at all this red on the dashboard here on the right. All these signals, remember, all this is part of the BitLab trading stack. Getting basically the dashboard is saying, hey, shit's pretty bearish right now. We're losing levels. We can't even, we got rejected immediately at the weekly VWAP, came down, lost the trend signal, a little bit of relief, rejected right back down with an expansion of momentum to the downside. We could tell this because this is arcing with a sharper angle towards the downside. Kind of like if you toss a ball out a window, right? And then the gravity brings it down like that and it moves faster and faster. That's what we're thinking about right here. So as it stands right now, this is below these the candle body closures there. So are we going to test somewhere into this zone where this wick came down into, somewhere into this zone here? I do think that is in the cards for Cardano, and that would put us down in the mid 24s, 24.5. If we do hold above this low, if we test where that low was, that's taking us all the way down into the upper 23s. And if we do come down to this low, I do think that the price action likely will go a little bit further, maybe even to the low 23s. Because we see, again, we're seeing this angle to the downside, increased momentum to the downside. That's what I'm seeing with Cardano. All right, what else are we looking at? Let's look at Algo. Algo's been struggling. Are you an Algo holder? Let me know if you're an Algo holder. Tell me who in here's got Algo. What price did you get it? You want to do Loopring? All right, we can do some Loopring. Let's go ahead and look at this. So Algo's been getting crushed ever since the SEC allegations of it potentially being a security. Look at this. It's finding support on this dynamic support zone, but it's getting weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. And then it just loses this level. This to me, yes, we had selling volume here, stopping volume, but the relief here is so weak that it's getting rejected immediately at this trend signal line. What is the trend signal line? It's a 50 moving average with a bunch of other 50 exponential moving average with a bunch of other things coded into it to give you signal whether you're in a bullish or bearish trend, as well as providing this dynamic support and resistance zone. All this part of the BitLab intelligence, which is part of the BitLab trading stack. So this is coming down. It's rounding. There's two options here. Finding basically base here, moving back up, creating a W, double bottom formation, breaking this, and then moving to the upside. But let's be honest, what's the bullishness that we're seeing in the charts right now broadly? We're not. So my expectation of this based on the narrative of the market currently is that this is rolling over. This is rolling over. Dang it. Give me a dang paintbrush. This is rolling over. And if we're not able to hold this level right here, which is basically 934, we're not able to hold that level, then I do think this is making a further run to the downside. And it potentially, you see this wick? Where did it bounce? Right exactly on this diagonal level of support from a larger time frame. And look exactly where our trend shift is. I mean, this was a great call right here on the BitLab trading stack, suggesting some sort of reversal here. And then immediately after that, maybe you don't take it right on this move, but then we get the triangle right here, right on the start of this move. So anything you do with the BitLab trading stack or any indicator package, you want to always have the setup signal, the supporting signal, and the confirming signal. Okay? And what that means is it could be on one of these on the BitLab intelligence. It could be one of the signals on this, and the supporting signal is here, and then the confirming signal is, bouncing on support or whatever. If it's on Market Cipher, then it's going to be something with the DBSI as well as the green dot, as well as the RSI. You always have multiple signals you're looking at to make sure you're taking a strong move. All righty. So let's talk about it. I see we got a super chat in the house. What does it say? Slacky says Rune on shorter time frames. Well, let's look at Rune. And I think I saw somebody else ask for, they asked for Loopring. So let's look at Loopring. Let's look at Rune. Now, in case this does drop, I would say this level, oops, we can do, look at this, right where the bottom of that wick is. And look at that. We overshot the bottom of this wick, which is already showing weakness. If this comes down, I expect this to bounce right about 9 cents, a little bit over 9, almost 9.1 cents. If we lose that, I do think this is probably going to come down here into the sevens. What a buy for Algo that would be. Man, this is being crushed, and they still have an excellent team. They have a lot of stuff they're working on, so it's definitely something to be paying attention to. Now let's do Loopring. Is that LRC? Is that Loopring? I believe it is. You guys let me know in the chat if that is correct. Get down. You said smaller time frames. Let's start with 4 hour. Look at this. Reversal up, a little bit of a sell pressure, but the signal didn't confirm it down here. You see this bearish signal? But this, if you look directly down where my cursor is, the stochastics are overheated, starting to come down, but the momentum's still expanding to the upside. So I would wait. Leading signal, confirming signal. We get the triangle. And where is that at? It's just a little bit later. And you would have missed out on some of this price action to the upside, but you would have been out. You would have been out somewhere. You would have been out somewhere basically at the top of that candle. You see this? Instead of here, you got out a little bit higher. You would have missed some of this upside, sure, but all this is doing is chopping and stealing people's money as they trade in and out. So you missed some of that move. Great. Now you're still out through all this. Now here, you could trade these, but I mean, on these small time frames with these small assets right now, man. Now look at this: 2 bearish signals. Bearish signal, and then also 6 bearish divergences right after it. And we also have 2 triangles right here, and the stochastics aim down sharply. So maybe right here I wouldn't have got out. Right here I would have. Maybe even waiting just a little bit longer down on this move on the second triangle. We see the stochastics are rolling down, the VWAP's angled down, momentum starting to collapse. And then we get 6 bearish divergences if you weren't convinced yet, and then we get that large drop. Now, as it stands right now, we're sitting right on an order block on the BitLab volume, part of the BitLab trading stack. If we lose this level right here, which is 17.75, then I do think that Loopring is going to be moving lower. We got to look left on the chart. There's going to be nothing left on the chart. So essentially, looking here on the daily, we could be coming all the way down just from this wick, 1635. So if we lose that 1775, is that what I said it was? 1775, yeah, then I do think that we're coming down here to the 1630s. That's what I'd be saying here, because we also have the stair step. Boom, 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 boom. And this is failing to hold above the trend signal line. Getting rejected at the VWAP. It's coming down. If we lose 1775. Now, what was the other one? Rune. You asked for Rune on the super chat. Somebody else super chatted too, because there's $7 there. Did I miss the super chat? Scrolling back, I don't see it. Mods, can you tell me? Can you guys let me know what the super chat, if there was another one? Somehow it says 748 and I only saw the $1.99 one. All right. There it is. Oh, what's up? Ron Adopter. Please check XRP. We definitely do XRP. Shout out for the super chats. There's so many people that want coins. So when you guys do super chat, I'm not pushing you to. I definitely make sure that they get seen, because I want to make sure people are supporting the channel. I want to make sure to get the coins they're looking at. So let's look at Rune really quick. Okay, Rune USDT. Okay, look at this. First things first, not even looking at any signals. Price action on the Rune. This is 4 hours. Price action is rolling over. We have large expansion and volatility, smaller expansion. We still have a little bit of expansion, more than this one. But then we have, look at this, a downside, a lower high suggesting what? Likely rollover, and then now we're flirting with breaking this as a lower low, in which case we're confirming that we're going down. In addition to this, look at all these bearish divergences that were leading up to this rollover. And then we have another clip right here, right at this peak. This was suggesting something was going to happen. We see this, and it collapses down. If you miss that, then you got the reversal signal right here, all part of the BitLab trading stack, remember. And this is coming down. This is on the 4 hour. What does it say on the 1 hour? Let's go ahead and boom, 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 boom. Oops. There we go. Comes down, gets rejected right. It tries to deviate above the trend signal line here on the 1 hour. Immediately gets rejected, comes down. But we also see, look, as this is pushing above it, is it going to continue up? We always want to know, is this broke? Does this mean it's going up? Well, look, always price action, then look at the fuel of the move, the trend fuel down here. We see as soon as this gets up, we have a lot of volume. How do we know this? Because we have the teal candle. And then this kind of rolls over a little bit. And at this point, the stochastics peak, the VWAP peaks, the RSI peaks, and on this zone, all this is moving down. All these lines here. See, all these lines start showing weakness into this move from option V to option V. Let's go like this, just so we can see on the price action what happens on the, so look at that. This is where it's still going up. It peaks right in the middle, which is right here. And then the price tries to make another high, but all the strength signals are lower. So this will tell you, get out of here, because we also have this order block directly above the price. This gets rejected. We lose this level, now forming the new low. So this next high right here, if you did not get out here and you're trying to take a short or try to exit along, then this pushes right back up. We have now we're battling the low side of these lows here, and it also gets rejected right here at the trend signal line, and the price moves down. If I were to guess what this was going to do, we have a line right here, which is sort of, I don't want to call it the line in the sand, but we are seeing a lot of things testing previous lows of near time frame price action patterns. And if I were to guess, this is likely going to break down from here, maybe have some interaction directly below us on this point of control, $1.57. But if I had to guess, this right here, look at how much this line is just perfectly the tops here and the bounce here. So if we do find support here, we do have a chance of pushing up, but we want to see the price action push through this dynamic resistance zone and also make it all the way up to the VWAP and this weekly VWAP and take it out. I don't particularly see that happening right now with the culture of the charts, if you will. We want to see what happens here. If we lose this level, I think we're coming down to about $1.53, which is this low, also this rejection point, also this low. So you can see this is kind of where I'd be looking right here, option J. $1.51, $1.53. Now let's look at XRP from my boy. All right, boom, 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 boom. I want you, right? Somebody was singing that in chat. XRP, let's go out. Larger time frame. Where's that chart that I really like to look at? It's on this, wait a minute, yeah. XRP, here we go. So 8 hour, let's go ahead and delete this fibs. So on the 8 hour, I just want to point this out. I drew this the day we pumped. So the interesting thing about this is if we really zoom out, let's go to the daily. We have this point right here connected with this point right here, creating the trend line, projected out. Look exactly where we rejected from, which is also right about these previous highs. In addition to all of this, magically, in addition to all of this, there we go. In addition to all of this, we can also see that this was perfectly rejected at the golden pocket of the previous move. Was it from here, I believe? Oops. Look at this. From this previous move to the low, golden pocket right here. Look at where we rejected. Golden pocket perfectly intersected this diagonal trend line of resistance. We got rejected there. And I was telling people on that move, I was calling for a pullback to about 55, 54, 56 cents. Because this also came down, lost the golden pocket of this move. And look at this, came down. Where did it bounce? We had a wick below, sure. Candle bodies bounced. Where? Here's a trend line. Here's a trend line. Here's all these connecting points projected out. This is exactly where it's bouncing off of right now. So as it stands, looking at the, let's say 3-day, bearish. See on the control panel on the bottom right here? Bearish signals overall, but this also had a huge move to the downside. Let's go a little bit smaller. Let's go look at the daily. It's a little bit of signs of life here, but this is also because we just had a bounce for 3 days. Price action coming down. So what's it looking like on the 4 hour? 4 hour mixed bag. Bearish, bullish, neutral, bearish, bullish. So very neutral with a bearish bias because this is a downtrend on the 4 hour. We have 3 bearish divergences right here. Coming into the zone. Price action, look at this, got rejected. It looks like, oops, looks like it was right about the, let's see this move right here. Where it broke down from. Pushed up, where? Right into the golden pocket, rejected back down. And look at this, on smaller time frames, it's not a head and shoulders, but it kind of has similar attributes. This is showing a bullish attempt, larger bullish attempt, larger bullish attempt. Now the bulls are weak. That's the context. Don't only look at patterns because the patterns have to be exact. To understand the context of patterns and why they're important. That way, when you see similar things, even though it's not the exact pattern, you understand the bullish and bearish narrative that you're trying to understand when you're trading this. So in this case, we've got this this trend line right here. If we extend this out a little bit, look at this on the bottom side of this order block on the BitLab volume. See this red block right here? We're finding support on the top side of it. If the price action comes down and loses this level, then I see price action likely, yeah, I would say right where this point of control is, all this price action coming down and finding some liquidity to tap right down here at the 47 level. If we are able to hold this, because currently we are above the trend signal line, but it's almost nonsensical because we're right on it. If we're able to hold this, and maybe we come up here and test the 55 cents and continue up. But again, the narrative of the market right now is questionable, very uncertain. A lot of things at play right now. So look at this bullish signal on the trend fuel right here. We had a bullish divergence. We had a triangle, but we've got a lot of mixed signals going on the right here on the dashboard. We do have 5 bullish divergences though right here. So there is a setup for something to maybe happen, but not all things are agreeing. Not all things are agreeing. So I would be a little hesitant right now unless price action overtakes the weekly VWAP, and we can see these order blocks directly above us. So even if we get a move up here, looks like we have this range that we're trapped between these two liquidity zones of this order block right below us and this order block right above us. Think of these like bumpers, okay? In which if this comes down and loses this level, it's going to continue. If this pushes up and takes this level out, it's likely going to push higher. But in reality, that's a smaller likelihood. This is, I mean, look at this. Look at all this bearishness. If this does push up, it's likely to tap this liquidity and get rejected, which will what? Be another lower high. So let me see. Is there anything else? We can look at Compound. We'll look at 2 more, and then I got to go. Everybody hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. Let's see if we took out 9,000 today. If everybody subscribes right now, we will hit that 9,000 mark. All we need is about 30 people. I know there's 30 people in here that are not subscribed. Join us, baby. We got a great community here. Let's look at the 4-hour charts. Rollover, man, look at that rollover. Rollover Compound, yeah. See that? Boom. That was telling you the story. Strong bullish momentum, weaker bullish momentum. Weaker bullish momentum that didn't even get to this high, new low, down. The charts tell you the narrative if you pay attention. This was telling you the trend was about to shift. It's telling you it was about to reverse. We also have bearish divergences. We also have bearish signals. Now, right here, a little bit of a inverted Bart Simpson, heavy volume sell, stopping volume, move up. Barely breaks above the trend signal line and comes down and finds support on it. So this is looking a little more bullish, but still uncertain than the other coins, because on the 4-hour, this has taken out the trend signal line and the VWAP. But now it's come back below the VWAP, but it's still above this trend signal line. If we lose this line, which is also kind of in line with fairly near where the lows of this with the candle bodies are, look at this. RSI is getting weaker. VWAP's angled down. But contextually, the momentum wave is still angled to the upside. So there's so many conflicting signals right now. If this level is taken out, basically the $40 level, if we lose that level, then I'm looking for around here, the $35 level. Why? Because the $35 level has all this price action here, this bounce right here, and look at where the wick comes right in there. This tells us that this is a very likely level if price comes down. So let's look at quant really quick. Quant. I mean, look at this line right here. It's just hugging this line. It's been really holding on to this $100 level. It's actually been pretty impressive with everything going on. The price did dip down, depending on what exchange you're on. Maybe come down to 90, maybe came down to 94. But this is really holding this level pretty strong right in this zone. If we do lose this level, especially if we come down to 97 and lose this level right here, 97.10, 97.12, then I do think price is going to work its way down to the low 90s, and then we'll have to revisit it from there. We potentially could come down to this order block all the way down here at 84. That would suck in the short term, but it'd be excellent for long-term positions. Filecoin, we haven't looked at in a long time. Look at that. Increase in momentum to the downside. Rejection. It tried to break out of the trend signal, got rejected right at the VWAP. boom, down. 1 hour. Yeah, I see this. I see this. It's just trying to do a setup, but look at this. There's something bullish in the price action here. It's something that I was reading based on what's happening with some signals, but the momentum to the downside, this is mostly bearish. I would think if this does push at all, this would push up into this, maybe 335 and get rejected and continue to the downside. 4 hours. Man, could we be coming all the way down to 318? Ooh. ICP. Look at that. A lot of volume to the downside. A lot of selling volume and the momentum to the downside. Rejected at the VWAP. Rejected at the VWAP. Lost the trend signal line. Coming down. How low can we go? Coming all the way down. I think this likely will push down a bit further. We're holding right roughly about where this wick came down to. But I do think this will likely come down a bit further, maybe into the low 320s. And we'll have to see how that goes. But everybody, I appreciate each and every one of you. If you haven't yet, make sure you check out bitlabacademy.com. Get involved, enroll in our courses. Check out everything we've got. We've got so much to offer in the BitLab Academy courses here, all video courses with quizzes and tests and BitLab Premium Discord. And of course, if you want the indicators, head over to BitLab Trading Stack, BitLab Academy. Come over here to the BitLab Trading Stack link, and you can use Give Me 30 for 30% off. And with that, guys, gals, everybody, I love you. I appreciate you all. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell, and I will be seeing you again tomorrow morning. We're going to be getting started pre-streams at 9:50 a.m. Eastern time. The stream goes live right at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So with that, I bid you adieu. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And thank you for being here with me. Adios. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being my friend. Hit that like button, sucker. I appreciate you guys.